Hello and welcome to Kanyiri Grows. It's great to have you here. Today I'm going to be showing you what I have put in my garden. So this is called a lean-to-wall greenhouse. So we are now in autumn and it's getting a little bit windy. We don't get a lot of sunshine. Today, for instance, it's like 14 degrees here Celsius with a humidity of 77, but it's pretty windy. So I've managed to buy myself this. This is a lean-to-wall greenhouse. As you can see, it's pretty tall. It's pretty tall. It's about 6 foot tall. As you can see, that's how it looks like. And I'm gonna show you inside how it looks. And this is my garden. This is my tomatoes. So I've harvested loads and loads. This is the cherry tomatoes. This time I only decided to grow the cherry tomatoes. And as you can see, they're all green. They're still all green because I picked up all the ones that were yellow and red. Now it's getting cold. It's in autumn. We don't get a lot of sunshine, and because of this, the tomatoes don't go yellow quickly. So when they turn a little bit almost this color, I just pick them and I'll put them inside the house under a grow light, and then they get to ripen. They get to ripen very quickly. As you can hear, it's very windy. I hope you can hear me well. So this is how the garden looks like at the moment. Oh, this shouldn't be here. I was just trying to clear that greenhouse and I decided to leave that there. So I'm gonna show you how it looks like in here. Now that I'm in here already, I'm gonna show you. So this is how it looks like. Guys, this is pretty huge inside and it can take a lot of vegetables. Just a few vegetables for your kitchen garden in winter and in autumn. I think this is an ideal for small gardens and also for beginners. If you don't have a proper structure for a greenhouse, this is ideal if you're just starting to do gardening. And as well for temporary purposes, I got this because mine is just temporary. I don't want to put up a permanent structure in my garden at the moment. So this is what I've got, and as you can see, it's taken so many vegetables. Like I've got some chard down there. So it has these 3 shelves to begin with. Let me try and so it has the first shelf, then it has a second shelf, and it has down there. So down there I've put up some chard. As you can see, they're growing beautifully. Oh my goodness. And it's nice and warm in here, so the vegetables are okay for now. I don't know how it will do in winter, but now it's autumn and we've been having temperatures below 15 degrees Celsius and they're doing very well. These are collards and kale. These are the curly kale. They're doing very well. As you can see, they're growing. They're looking beautiful. These are beetroots. I've got more beetroots down here. I have some more beets down there. Yeah, and I've put in some mint as well because I do love to have my mint tea. So I wanted to bring it in so it doesn't dry off or die because of the cold, harsh weather outside that we get in autumn and in winter. And this autumn is pretty cold, I have to say. Here in UK we have a pretty cold autumn this time. I have my turnips here and there seems to be something eating them. Oh, look at that. That's a tiny snail. So it looks like these snails are the ones eating this. I've been trying to figure out what, don't worry, if if that one made you sick, me touching it, I'm sorry about that. But this is a turnip plant, and it seems to be invaded by snails. I think they mostly come at night, because when I come here and I try to look for anything that could be eating it, I can't find it. But now I just found that little tiny snail, and I'm thinking maybe they might be coming in from somewhere at in the night. So I will have to come in the night and try and get those snails. That's the only way you can get the snails, when you do some random investigation, and you come out at night with your torch and try and look for them. So this is how it looks. Surprisingly, the sweet potato leaf is still growing. It's still looking good. I'll show you the sweet potato on the outside. I have another one that is not in secure place, a warm place like this, and that one seems to not do very well. So I'm happy with this greenhouse, as you can see. And you might be wondering why I've put up this. These are fly catchers. They have some glue on both sides, so they can catch. As you can see, they've already caught loads of flies there. I love them. They work very well. So I've hung a few around. I've stuck them as well into the containers using a hairpin. Yep, I'm using a hairpin, and I've just stuck the hairpin into the soil, and as you can see, it's catching a lot of flies, so my greenhouse can stay free from flies and those insects. So this is how it looks like. I've got cabbage. These are cabbage plants. Here is maybe around 4 or 5 plants in this container. I want to see how it grows, how it does there. If they might need transplant, maybe 1 or 2. I've got more mint leaves here, just in between these 2 spaces. So, and I've got some more. So you see, with the beetroots, the only thing is I've noticed they're changing the color. They used to be super green, but I don't know whether that's normal to just change a little bit of color, because I know it gets a bit humid in here. So every morning what I do is I come in and I try to just open the door and leave the door wide open for a few hours. Then I will close it, because I don't want too much cold or insects and flies flying in. I also have this. Look how it's doing. It's doing amazing. When I got this, it was so tiny. The lemons were very, very tiny, and now it's doing perfect. I brought it in here so it doesn't die outside in the cold. I have my amaranth here. So my amaranth, what happened is during summer, I think I didn't bring them out as seedlings early enough in summer, so they were a little bit behind. They should have seeded by now. All these seeds would have been big, but they were a little bit late. So I brought them in and see if they can continue, making more seeds here, so I can harvest the seeds. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll see. And I'm experimenting with these new amaranths as well. These amaranths, they're just still in the seedling stage, and I want to see how they're going to perform in here, whether they're going to grow, whether they're going to germinate. That'd be awesome. I have this chard as well. He's doing fantastic. So all in all, I can say that this greenhouse is very ideal. I would recommend, if somebody is thinking of getting a greenhouse for autumn, for winter, it is ideal. I will also show you another greenhouse, sort of like a polytunnel design, which I've had for a couple of years now, and it's also been so good to me. My plants can stay there during the winter, and I do get to harvest, especially the kale. because it can withstand the hardy weather. It's a hardy plant, and it can withstand the temperatures, even low temperatures. So I would recommend, if you want some vegetables, go for kale. That is number one, that can stand cold temperatures, you know, can go up to at least minus 5 degrees. They will still survive. So this is how it looks. I just come out so you can see this is the door. I've just rolled back the door and tied it back. But you can unroll it and zip. There's a zipper. This is a zip which I just pull back. See there? I just pull it back and close. So I'll just come out and step back so you can see how it looks. That's the height. It's about, it's 7 by 7. I'll put the description of this greenhouse in the description box. So I'll put all the details there. You see, this is my other, it's actually dying now, but this is the sweet potato that I'm talking about. It's out here. It's not in the greenhouse, and it looks like, you know, some parts is dying. It's like going yellow because it's been very cold, very windy, no sunshine, and sweet potato loves sunshine. I still have a few plants out here. I still have my carrots to harvest. I can see my carrots have already, when I pull back, I'm gonna try and remove one. Oops. That one I've lost. Ooh. That one's come off. It cut a little bit there. I think I left the branches, the leaves. See the leaves that came off it, but I think that's the size. These carrots are not the large size. These are the dwarf carrots, so I'm not expecting them to get bigger than that. So that's what's happening with the carrots. This is my magwat. My magwat is still growing. As I told you before, I love magwat. I make my tea. It's like a herbal tea. I use magwat, and I still have this Vietnamese mint. Vietnamese mint. This is a hardy, and it can overwinter. So I'm expecting it to not die even through winter. But if it gets really below 0 degrees, I might have to put it inside the greenhouse because I don't want to take a risk with it. So with all these tomatoes, I don't think all of them will turn yellow or red in time. So what I'll have to do is just pick some of them whilst they're still green, and make a green chutney. Guys, if you haven't watched my video when I was making a green chutney, kindly do so. I made some lovely delicious chutney, and I'll still do another video to show you a new recipe, a different kind of recipe to make your green tomato chutney. So this is how it looks. These are my tontondine. They're also very hardy. They're perennials, and obviously they are going to withstand the temperatures. That's why I've left them outside. They don't need to be in the greenhouse because I know they're hardy, they're perennials, and they will overwinter and come back and grow again. You can see I've tried to remove most of the leaves, left it bare. This is panache kale. The panache kale, I've also cut it, and I've cut back most of the stem. I've removed most of the leaves so it can grow back by spring. We'll be having a healthy and green, and it will be full of leaves by spring. So now you just save its energy, and that's how they look like. Most of these tall ones you see, they're all perennial kales. That's a perennial kale as well. Perennial kale, they can all withstand. This is also a perennial, and it has been affected. I think these were caterpillars. During summer we had loads of caterpillars that were really a nuisance, and we tried as much as we could. I even covered with the nets and everything, but it wasn't working. But in gardening, sometimes you gotta take a risk. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So you can see today it was all about the greenhouse. This lean-to wall, it's called lean-to wall because you have to lean it against the wall. As you can see, it's leaning against the wall on one side, and that's how it looks like. That is how that part of the garden looks like. Now it's autumn. Soon it's gonna be winter. It's very cold, it's very windy, we don't get a lot of sunshine, and there's not much gardening going on besides what you've seen inside the greenhouse. We're just gonna go back in there one more time. Besides what you see here, this is what I know will continue throughout winter if the conditions will be favorable in here. I'm not quite sure. The wind is super strong, and it feels like it can actually lift this greenhouse up, but I have tried to secure it. As you can see up here, there's this string that is actually going right across the greenhouse. So if it tried to lift it, it would be a bit impossible, because this trellis is also secured. It's also secured, and it won't be able to lift. The greenhouse can't be able to go up because of that. And as well, I have these pallets also, which are very close and next to the greenhouse. I think they are also securing and making it a little bit safe and sturdy, and it cannot be blown by the wind. But the wind is really threatening. To be honest, the wind is threatening to blow things around today. So that's a good look. That's how this part of the garden looks like. So I'm gonna show you the other tunnel, little greenhouse that I've had for many years, so you can decide which would suit your garden. Let's go. So we're here now. This is a different type of as you can see, this is a different type of greenhouse. This is like a polytunnel. It's like a tunnel. It's a bit short, you cannot walk in. You cannot walk inside it, and I have put loads of kale and collards. I do have guys, it's so windy. As you can hear, I'm just gonna be very fast. So this is another one. I've put loads of kale and collards. I have one sweet potato here, which I just want to see how far it can go into this autumn without dying. And this is how this one look. I've had this one for over 4 years now, and it is these are metal bars. So the metal bars are very strong. All I have to do is attach these connectors, connect these bars with these connectors like that, so it can all come apart. And during summer I will just remove it, and when maybe I have a lot of butterflies, I can put my net over it. You would usually remove the polythene, and I'll put the net over it to cover it and protect it from butterflies and caterpillars. So as you can see, this has a covering as well. This is the cover. I've only just opened it because I wanted to let in fresh air, because it gets really humid in there. So it does have a cover, and with this one as well, there's a zipper. You zip it down when you want to cover your plants in there. All you have to do is zip it down. I know you understand what I mean. I'm not gonna be zipping it down now because I've only just opened it this morning. I'll probably be coming back in another 2 hours to put the covers down. So as you can see, the kale, the sukuma wiki, they're doing very well. Well, kale is sukuma wiki in my language. So they're doing very well. This one here, this is it's a purple kale. It's from the family of purple kale. Basically, it's the son of purple kale. That's what I would call it, son of purple kale, because it's from that family. And I've got here the oak leaf. All these are perennials, so they will definitely withstand the harsh winters. I've got the beetroots here. The beetroots, they're getting the color is looking very different now. It's not very green, but I'm sure they will grow, they will survive the winter, because beetroots also can withstand to a certain point. They're not as strong as the collards and the kale, but they will stand the weather to a certain point. So this is how things look. I am happy with the progress. It is October. The weather is changed a lot, and we can only do what we can do. So guys, this is all I wanted to show you. I truly appreciate. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think of my new lean-to wall greenhouse. Let me know what you think of it. Have you had one like this? And how did it do in autumn or in winter? So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, bye bye.